Hello again, Primrose. I am so excited to share with you what we just didn't quite get time to do back in August, and that is the letter C from Impact, which stands for Cultivate. We're going to talk about cultivating connections, whether those connections be with students in our classrooms, with other support staff, with coworkers, or with parents. We need to be cultivating connections. Relationships build trust, as you know, and trust breeds action. Let's take a look at some ways you can cultivate connections. Teachers who put relationships first don't just have students for 1 year, they have students who view them as their teacher for life. And I will say the same about parents. Teachers who put parent relationships first don't just have those kids for 1 year and those parents for 1 year. They have those parents who continually bring them up in future conversations. And those are teachers for life for those parents as well. How can you build strong relationships with students or with parents? In the next 5 minutes, I want you to think about one group that you need to be building relationships with right now. Is that your students in your classroom, or is it your parents of the students that you work with every single day? As we fill out this worksheet, I want you to be thinking about that specific group. Number one, what do you need to believe in order to build relationships? I'm going to start with students. What do I need to believe in order to build relationships with my students? Number one, I might need to believe that all kids can learn. Kids can feel your beliefs. If you believe that kid will never learn anything, that kid will feel that in the way that you talk to them, in your tone, in your words, in your actions. So you really need to believe and strongly believe your position. Maybe you need to believe that all kids provide value in your classroom. And believing that wholeheartedly, what does that look like? It might look like actions that we'll get to in a second, where you are saying, oh, Chase is a great reader. Chase, can you read to the group? And right after that, Ariana is so great at working with others. We're going to have her be our leader today, right? Really looking at all kids have value in your classroom. These are just two beliefs. What are some beliefs you need to have to perform your task as an educator? Again, I want you to be thinking, what are beliefs you need about your students? What are beliefs you might need about your support staff? Or what are the beliefs you need about your parents or coworkers? Take a minute right now to write down two beliefs that you need to have to really cultivate connections. Pause this video now to write your two beliefs down. All right, let's jump into actions. What are some actions you need to take to start cultivating strong connections? Let's look at students. Actions as simple as always using a student's first name makes the student feel addressed, makes them feel connected, makes them feel that they matter and they have value. Other actions might be making sure that you're calling on different students each time that you are asking someone to contribute. You might not think it's a big deal that Stacy always gets to talk first, but it is a big deal to Rye, who is just waiting to speak first. Make sure that that is one of the actions you can be putting into place to build strong connections. What are some actions you can do with your parents? Greeting them by name when they walk in the door. Not just greeting the student by name, that's great too, but making sure to address face to face, eye to eye, the parent that is bringing them in and dropping them off. Telling the parent to have a good day, right? Maybe the action is meeting them at the door. What are some actions that you can be doing to build connections? If you're thinking about your support staff, what are some actions you can do to build relationships with them? What are you physically doing in your room that might show them that you trust them, that might show them that you like them, and that you know them on a personal level? Go ahead and fill in the actions that you want to start taking or that you know you're already doing that are building connections right now. Go ahead and pause this video to fill in your circles. Let's jump in to words. What words can you be saying that build connections? Now, words are a little bit tougher. As we said, we can greet students, we can use students' names. Those are words. But what are some words we're going to use out loud? For example, I used to tell my students a lot, I trust that you can do this well. I trust that you will get right to work. Trust was a word I used all the time. Another word I used or phrase I used often was thank you. Really setting up gratitude in my classroom. Thank you for raising your hand, Marcel. What do you want to share today? Thank you for pushing in your chairs, Denise and Kendra. Really making sure that I thanked students often. Think about how that can build relationships in your classroom, but also think about how that can build trust with your parents. When that parent remembers to bring coats and hats and mittens, you want to address that and say, oh, thank you so much for helping Dominic feel prepared today. We're going to stay warm now. Thanking them for the actions they're taking really is going to be a way for you to build trust between you and the parent. Same goes with your coworkers and your support staff. Saying thank you to the actions that they are taking is going to help build those relationships. Go ahead, pause this video now, and fill in the word bubbles below. As you are going about your year, we are here in mid-October. I really want to encourage you to go back through this impact model that we practiced in August. What are some investigations you need to be doing right now? Do you need to be investigating communication strategies? Do you need to be investigating some of the challenges that are happening? Or do you even just need to investigate all the goodness that is happening so that you can have a gracious heart? Once you're done investigating, what do you need to be modeling on a daily, weekly basis to really provide that consistent culture? What ways do you need to problem solve? Go back through your notes. Look at that 2-minute problem solving. I want to encourage you to do this today. What is a problem you've been having this week, this month? And I want you to take 2 minutes, come up with 2 solutions, pick one, and go with it. I know you can do this. You are in control of that culture and your own strategies and your own actions and words. Appreciate. What do you need to be appreciating right now so that you don't lose it come Christmas break or come winter break? Cultivate, we just talked about, and transform. Remember, transform is doing things consistently over time to transform and nurture that classroom culture. I am so excited. You've made it to October. You are going to do wonderful things. Thank you for taking the time today to really think about cultivating connections. Now, writing it down isn't going to change your culture. As you know, your words, your actions, and your taking action on those beliefs is what's going to transform your culture. So make sure after getting done writing these things down, you go put them into action and watch your culture thrive.